I want to talk about my top 3 mods for any plasma table, but I have the Crossfire Pro, the Langmuir. My best 3 mods. Let's take a look here. Let's see if I can flip this. Doesn't want to flip. Take a look at it. There's the Crossfire Pro. So you're already probably noticing the drain and refill system here. It's just a big tank. It's air powered. I use the same hose that hooks into the plasma cutter to fill it. I have other videos of that I will post, but that is my #1 mod. I had that done before I even made my first cut on the plasma table. I had that done before I even plugged this thing in. I knew right away out of the gate I wanted that drain and refill system because I know how convenient and how awesome it works. It's not filtered. I don't really think it needs to be. Usually the sediment just kind of collects at the bottom of the tray. Anything in the fluid, yeah, just kind of hangs out at the bottom of the tank. You can see I have a little spout for when it does build up. It really doesn't, but it's there if you need it. So that's my #1 mod. #2 would be this pallet rack system. All the way over. It fits perfectly in between or outside of the plasma table. Even with the fire share guards, and you see the splash guard there over the electronics. Gotta have those. That's not part of this video though. That is not my top 3 mods. Those are there because they have to be or should be. Not one of the mods that I would say would be in my top 3. But #2, pallet rack. Contains all my gear up here. There's my light right there. And spare steel kind of hangs out here. I got some steel up here. The long stuff that doesn't fit anywhere else, so it just goes up there. And you can see my #3 mod now. That bad boy. That's my newest thing here. So I have ducts behind. So getting used to this reverse camera. Ducts back here. They go into a big tube underneath, and then there's a tube that comes up. I have right in there a shut off. I always leave it open. It always runs. With this big 6-foot duct here up into the flexible. And this is a Harbor Freight dust collector inside this wooden box. Not much changed on that. I kind of just took it off of it's the 2.5 horse. It's the big one. You can see the other part of it right in between the filter and the bucket here. So that's the dust collector. I had to get a longer flexible hose. Let's see if you can see it up there. It doesn't look like it, barely. But longer hose into the little Harbor Freight Cyclone, I guess. And that goes into a Donaldson filter. That filter, that's a big boy. I think it's 5 inches thick all the way around. I think it's like 18 inches in diameter. I can't remember exactly what the diameter is, but it's 24 inches tall. Just barely fits up there. I used to have a 5-gallon bucket. This is a 3.5. I used to have a 5-gallon bucket underneath the Cyclone, and all of that was up on top of the pallet rack, and you'd have to just wedge the filter to get it to fit into the ceiling. So I took a piece of plywood here, cut the hole in it, put a screw-on lid, screwed a screw-on lid onto the piece of plywood, 3.5-gallon bucket, just to give me some more room here for my steel that is usually up there, but it's not right now. And then it's all siliconed. I mean, this is sandwich silicone every which direction. Cyclone, and then that big ass filter. So let's turn it all on so you can see it here. So I have everything, including the computer, hooked up to this power strip. So when I come over here, oh, actually the dust collector is not plugged in. There we go. So when I hit this button, my light, my computer charger, dust collector, and the plasma table control electronics are all hooked on. So when I hit this, you'll hear it come on. So now my light's on, filter's filtering. Feel air drawn through there. I mean, it's a complete unit. This fucker's badass. Look at that hose. Yeah, so when that filter is running, or when the dust collector is running, I can't smell any fume, no smoke, nothing. This place stays clean when that thing is running. The only thing I can smell is the rubber from that brand new hose. That's the only thing I can smell. her out. I still got some mods to do, but those are my top 3. Pallet rack, air filter, and number 1, that drain system right there. That thing made me so happy when it worked the first try too. It's got a little bit of a leak, but that's because I use compression fittings on the, there's 2 drains. It's a double vanity sink drain. And just use those crappy compression fittings that the vanities use for your sinks. It is what it is. I'll show you the leak. It's just a couple drops. It actually looks like it's kind of drying up right now. So, man, that thing is quiet. That box up there, it's insulated. I put foam insulation on the inside of it. I can have my music going. I can have a conversation while it's running.